Hello, welcome to Land Timber Stream. It's Thursday night, one of my favorite nights to stream. One of my favorite nights, period, because tomorrow is Friday, and then we have the weekend. So, pretty excited about that. It's been a good day for me today, learning some new stuff in my IRL job. So, let's get it started here, folks. Feel free to join us in the chat. We also have Discord, link there in the chat. And we're going to talk a little bit today about Azure, some BGP in Azure. So it is related to CCIE to a point, right? Then we're going to talk about a microphone giveaway this Sunday. Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? Good evening. Good to see you, Jimmy67. And written exam is in 38 days as of right now, scheduled for 38 days. So, yeah, the giveaway is day 300 hype. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, actually Instagram and, let's see if I can pull it up here. Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. So basically, yeah, we want to give away. This is the microphone. It's a blue snowball. Basically brand new. I used it maybe for a week. So it does work. I don't know, with my equipment, with my voice and using the Mac, I don't know, just didn't have I needed some more gain. So this is a good intro mic though, good quality. There are a number of streamers who use this. So if you are looking to vlog your journey or do some streaming or some video content to get in touch with the community and kind of share your experience, I would love to encourage you to do that. So instead of returning it, which I could easily do, or sell it on eBay, I thought, you know what? Let me just give it away. It's a perfect thing to give away to the stream because I really advocate, documenting your journey, sharing with the community, getting involved, and doing that via social media and video, of course. I'm a big proponent of that. Blogging is still great. I'm not saying it's not. I want to do some more myself, but I'm a big proponent of vlogging, right? Anyway, that's a link to the mic actually that I'm giving away, and I think it's gone down actually in price since I ordered it. I think back in, don't remember. It was last year though. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about Azure BGP. I did do some work with this. I actually have to have a short stream tonight because tonight I have an errand to run, and then at 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm actually doing a change. As I have a change window scheduled. Going to be doing some Azure changes and also some on-prem changes, some routing stuff. And not with this in particular, what I'm talking about right now, but it is some interesting routing stuff related to Azure. And it's interesting. And we have Chevy Chevelle. I saw you follow. Thank you, Chevy Chevelle. Man, good to hear from you, Justin. Thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying life, man, and it's good to hear from you. I've been watching your progress kind of on LinkedIn and other social networks. This is someone I used to work with, folks, Chevy Chevelle. I saw that follow earlier in Stream Labels, and I saw that name. I'm like, I'll bet that's Justin. And it is. So, man, great to have you, and hope things are going well for you too. Feel free to promote here in the chat if anyone wants to follow you or follow your business, especially if you're in the Nashville area and need IT services. Chevy Chevelle is your man. So, yeah, so Justin, I'm working on CCIE, been vlogging about that, and I'm on day 298. So it's been longer than that. Yeah, trying to provide some insight into networking, and in particular, I'm trying to vlog this journey so that people who are also preparing for the CCIE routing and switching, my original intent was to actually connect with people. I was looking for study partners here in Orlando area, and was having trouble finding some. So I just sort of started blogging and tweeting and things like that, and connecting with the community. Sure enough, now we've got, I don't know how many, got a few hundred people in our Discord channel. And since, about 300 days, so it's been actually over a year since I started. I vlog usually 5 to 6 days out of the week. So that gives you an idea, day 298, that it's been over a year. I've been really working on labbing for the CCI routing and switching. I failed the written exam twice. I have the third attempt scheduled for 38 days. Yes, thank you. That's awesome, man. It's a tough road for sure. It is a tough road. It's been a grind for sure. So yeah, we got day 300 coming up. Day 300 is Sunday. And just to kind of celebrate 300 days of logging the journey, I'm going to give away this blue snowball mic. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Generally, I try to stream Sundays at noon. And after the stream, the vlog is done, or whatever labbing I do on Sunday. Towards the end of the stream, I'll go ahead and just roll the dice, so to speak, using Streamlabs. We'll just roll the dice, everybody in chat. And whoever wins, as long as they have a U.S. address I can ship it to, they will win the microphone. But yeah, getting to Azure. So I've been working on a cloud team for a while now, and still doing networking, of course. And I've been working with Azure and BGP. And one thing that's interesting about BGP, you don't get, so with routing BGP, as a BGP peer in Azure, it acts in a lot of, it follows, of course, a lot of the, the standard protocol configurations, the rules and standards. The interface, I can't really show you on stream because the only thing I could show you is something in production for right now. I may use my MSDN account to try to set up BGP routing in Azure, just to show on stream one day and kind of how that looks. There is a pretty cool interface. Actually, there's the thing about Azure BGP and querying the router. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I should do something about that. I have quite a few international viewers. I'll think about that tomorrow. Maybe I'll tweet out, and maybe we can do some sort of drawing, like where you enter, like you submit your name. Yeah, that wouldn't really work though too, because the shipping in the Netherlands is tough. So yeah, man. Sorry about that. Part of that is, I'm giving this away and I'm donating my funds to ship. I don't know how much it costs to ship to the Netherlands. But yeah. So yeah, talking about Azure BGP, it's interesting. Azure, everything in Azure is pretty much, you can interface via an API, whether that is PowerShell, whether that is Azure CLI, whether that is ARM, the Azure Resource Manager, through the portal. So yeah, you can actually reset your BGP session using PowerShell if you want. Instead of a console CLI or SSH CLI, you can do operational functions, and you can also provision BGP peering using the API, which is pretty cool. That includes traditional things like BGP timers, for your peering connection, BFD, bidirectional forwarding detection. That is, I think, after August 1st, any new express route circuits that you provision or turn up and peer using BGP, BFD is enabled by default. So it's just a matter of, using the other end, your on-premise router, turning on BFD on that side as well. So that's really cool. They actually have a write-up about that. If it is prior to August 1st, 2018, it's not on by default, and you may have to reset your peering, and that's where you can use PowerShell or Azure CLI or whatever the case may be. But there are a lot of options for convergence. It's interesting with Azure Express Route Circuits. You get by default, it's going to provision 2 interfaces that you can use, and you can do 2 peerings, for example, for either private or Microsoft peering. We talked yesterday a little bit about the different peering types. Like you can do private peering, which is this private IP space and VNets, and then you can do Azure Microsoft peering. They do have public peering as well, which is deprecated. And essentially what public peering was do is you could configure BGP to advertise your public networks using, a registered ASN number. And of course, you connect to Microsoft's ASN number, which is public 12067. And you could peer and exchange routes. And with the deprecated public peering, Azure is just going to send you all the prefixes that they have. And they actually list them out. You can easily find them. If you do Azure Microsoft peering prefixes, let's see. Public peering now deprecated. Now they have, let's see, express route locations. Let's see. Let me find the communities. So this is referring to BGP communities, right? And they list them out here. It's very easy to find. And they advertise these. They obviously have send community turned on. And so with public peering, you would essentially get all of these and then have to create a filter to block any that you did not want to receive. But with the new Microsoft peering, which is the new go forward standard, you get no prefixes, and you have to actually define a route filter to enable which of these prefixes you want to receive. And you do that in Azure using a route filter object. And then, of course, you can manipulate these communities when they come inbound on your on-prem router. If you want to change, if you have multiple points of, depending on how you have your back-end Azure connections and peering, like which regions, maybe you have an express route circuit or circuits at each region that you're using, or maybe you have 2 points of entry or 4 points of entry, and you just peer VNets or virtual networks from other regions to those express routes. That will change how you do sort of routing preferences on your inbound prefixes. So, for example, you may have 4 express route circuits, and you're receiving the prefixes for 8 different regions. Well, you want to set a preference for the certain express route circuits, right? So you can use local preference, whatever BGP routing policy you want to use on those inbound communities, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can do that for convergence, for failover. Obviously, BGP timers and BFD is important for convergence. And then you can do the preferences to have multiple prefixes into your network. You can also do different things with private peering. I mean, essentially, a lot of the BGP features that we're used to, you are not limited because you are in the cloud. The interface is different, but a lot of the standards are the same, and there is also the potential for easily automating your deployments and changes, right? So enough about that. BGP and BFD, of course, are part of the CCIE blueprint. And I don't know if you remember, this is not a trivia question today. Actually, maybe I'll make this a trivia question. What is, we'll do this at the end. Of community filtering in BGP. But yeah, going back to networklessons.com, to be honest, folks, I did not get a lot of time to work on this last night. The reason is as many of you, if you watched the stream yesterday, I kicked off the installation in EveNG, my lab software. I kicked off an installation of the Kali Linux Docker container. So that took a while. Hey, Show is in the house. Good to see you, man. Show, I was catching up on your videos today, and I saw the one about the BGP backdoor. That was a well done video, sir. Very good. But yeah, so I did not get a lot of time with that because my lab was it was busy, and I checked on it today. It looks like it did finish. I did not get a chance yet to spin up the Kali Linux Docker container, though. I will try to do that probably to, well, I don't know if I'll have time tonight, so it'll probably be this weekend. But yeah, we're still on RPF, troubleshooting, and networklessons.com. So there's a lab I need to do. And now that the lab is available again, I should be able to start working on that tomorrow. So anyway, getting to the trivia. What is the basic configuration of community filtering in BGP? So I say filtering. It could be setting, I just talked about setting local preference, right? So obviously what you're going to do, here's some of the basic steps. So you're going to do an IP community list, right? And you could do standard, you can do extended, you can do expanded. But let's just say for all practical purposes, you could do 10, permit. We just had a list of Azure communities, right? I may have closed that window already. So let's say 260.7.5001. All right, so you have your IP community list, then you do route map, Azure change pref, permit 10. Let's just say, so we're not confusing things here. This is, let's just say permit 200, right? Match community. Oh, I better look this up, folks. I don't want to tell you wrong. On the syntax here. I don't know if this is one that I've looked at before or not. Yeah, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. There's I'm not on this right now in Network Lessons, but there is a Network Lessons lesson on this. And let's just make sure I have the syntax right here. Go to the end, he always has the configurations at the bottom. Thank you, show. There it is. Match IP community list 10. Set local preference 150. Then you would do something like this. Then on your router, BGP 6500. You have, I'm gonna put all the statements here, but you would do your neighbor statement. Let's see, 1.1.1.1 route map Azure change pref inbound. That's if you're matching a list of prefixes with communities inbound, right? So the point here is IP community list 10. This is a standard IP community list. You can do extended, which is like named. You can do expanded, where you can do a regex. And regex could be really effective if you have a long list of communities. For example, if you looked at, let me pull that back up. Oh, 1.1.1.1. Yes, it is. It's funny, I picked that one out of my head. They do support IPv6, by the way. I have found that out. I tried it. And they have an IPv6. As a matter of fact, Jimmy, I think I may be using them as one of my IPv6 DNS servers. Let me check real quick. Okay, no, I don't have, I think these are both Google. Let's see. No, this is Cloudflare. Okay. This is Cloudflare. So that, yeah, I did choose to use them. This is a primary and the secondary. Yeah, man. Okay, Google, yeah. I thought I had used them. I thought I was using them. I don't know why I chose Cloudflare over Google. Yeah, let's see, what is there? Let's look that up while we're thinking about it. Here it is. Yep, you're right. 2001. Okay. 2001. They have a 2001 4800 /23. Google IPv6. Cool. I love this stuff, man. I've still been playing with IPv6 a lot, and I still need to post a how-to for your home network. So I got that coming up hopefully soon. Yeah, I really like it. I've been enjoying it. So yeah, that is your basic setup for trivia today. How to do community lists, filter or set a change an attribute for a community list on inbound prefixes. That's how you do it. Meet checks of the day. I got a couple. I actually had a little bit of time to look at some posts today from other folks and catch up on some videos. This is a really good. I read this on my couch actually last night. So it's not really study, but kind of is because it's related to multicast and PIM. I really like the explanation. Neckercube, Jedediah Casey is a very good writer, man. I expect to see big things from him. I really like his writing style, and he's obviously got a good brain. I love the way he breaks things down logically and does comparisons of technologies, which is pretty cool. I like how he relates some technologies to others, or the behavior of some technologies to others. So even though this is a post about a lab, well, I think there's a link to a lab. He alludes, yeah, there's some configuration here. He has cool icons too. I don't know where he got those, but those are awesome. But there's a good kind of perspective on multicast routing in here, which is appropriate. You know, it mentions PIM. So it's a good read. If you haven't read that yet, I definitely encourage you, even though maybe you saw that, oh, I don't really want to do this. I don't have a need to do this, multicast over GRE. But check out his perspective on multicast routing in general in the beginning part of that. Oh, sorry. I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. I didn't mean to pull it up exactly, but this is David Bombal and Harry Preston going over using the Linux subsystem. It's funny, I was talking to another Mac user today who recently got issued a Windows 10 laptop, kind of like I did on the job. And he was suffering because he came from a Mac. And I understand. I completely understand. Like, you see, I'm running a Mac here. I'm a huge Mac fan. At the last job, I used Mac. And I love the Mac. I love that it's BSD, essentially BSD variant underneath, and you can do all the BSD Linuxy things. But kudos to Windows and Windows 10 for coming out with being able to run a Linux subsystem and Bash and all your other tools. Essentially, you know, you can choose a variant of Linux to run, download it, install and enable the Windows Linux subsystem. And folks, you're running Linux on Windows. It's really cool. I think it does run as, how do they do this? You can read up on it. There's some, of course, you know, Google it for the details, but it is a virtualization layer. So it's not like the native operating system. So it essentially, if you choose Ubuntu, for example, I think it runs Ubuntu as, you know, Windows 10, I think by default will or can run the hypervisor, right? Like the Hyper-V hypervisor, and can run instances on top of that, including subsystems like Linux. So I think that's really cool. This is how there's some information on doing that. And of course, once you have a Linux subsystem, you can run Docker, you can run Ansible, all sorts of things right there on your Windows box. So I've been a hater of Windows pretty much for a long time, but they've opened my eyes and made me appreciate Windows now, or hate it less. Let me say that. With features like this. So this is really cool. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I got an errand to run. I got a change tonight scheduled, so I'm going to have to cut it short. But again, the schedule coming up, vlog number 299 will be Saturday. Vlog 300 will be Sunday. Check in to Twitter, etc., and I'll give more details about the giveaway, how that's going to work. And we'll talk some more about PIM and PIM multicast routing, troubleshooting, RFP. So, yeah, good stuff. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Good to see everybody in the chat. I wish everybody the best, whoever is doing. Oh, yeah, buddy, it's fast. Good one's in. Yep. So, yeah, good to see everyone, and wish everybody the best in their studies. Hey, folks, we got the weekend coming up. So if you're working on a cert, if you're trying to get ahead in your engineering career, whatever protocols you're working on, whatever technology, let's prepare this weekend. And, obviously you got family time, you got a little recreation. But, let's get some work done too. So that's what this community is all about. Thanks again for hanging out, folks. Give me a follow here on Twitch if you haven't already. You get notifications when we go online. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and also if you're an Amazon Prime member and you have that free Twitch Prime sub that you haven't used yet, feel free to hit sub here, and we appreciate all the support as always. Thanks, folks. We'll see you back here on Saturday in the Land Tamers stream and throughout the day, throughout the weekend on Discord. Have a good one.